Greetings, greetings. It's that time again, a bit later than normal for the Sweet Surrender Daily Run. I worked a lot longer and later today than I ordinarily do, which is why this one's so late. So I am 15th on the Daily Run leaderboard, second place after EK. And I note the absence of Arwen Strider, who is normally somewhere near me. Let's just jump right in. Cross our fingers and hope we get some good gear. I'm quite tired. You know what's funny? This thing's on wheels, but it don't roll. I guess he was one in here because I don't hear nobody else coming. Pretty good on gears for this first floor. All right, let's go check out that chest. Shield, not bad. Take that for now. Let's do this. Uzi. You know, I like me the Uzi. You know, I would carry an Uzi in real life, like concealed carry. People have a holster on their hip. I'd carry an Uzi if I didn't think it would make me look really weird. And there's kind of an issue. You can't just buy a full auto Uzi. You can buy regular, like in the movie Tremors, Kevin Bacon's character actually uses an Uzi very much like this to shoot the graboids, and his is just semi-auto. It doesn't fire on full auto. But nevertheless, I feel like if I were carrying one in public, I would be asked all the time if it's full auto. And I imagine it might set off red flags for cops if they see me with an Uzi on the hip. Nah. What is that bubbling sound? It's coming from here. Huh. Weird. I'm just carrying this stim in the event I get a stims give you gears chip, which might happen. And that's going to be a no. Man, right before I left work. Wow, never mind. I'm not even going to mention that. Definitely like the speed chip. I'm just checking. Ah, good thing I checked. Sounds like he's the only one in the room. He is. That's weird. Normally there's at least one or two security bots. Plus 5 bullets, we'll take it. Plus 5 bullets chip is a good one for the revolver. Anything that's got 1 round of ammo. Another Uzi. Yeah, why not? Like Trinity from The Matrix. This is how Neo uses two Uzis in the first Matrix in the government lobby shootout. It's actually the last gun he uses. He tosses them before doing the triple kick. When he uses them, he's against a pillar like this, right, with his back to the pillar. He comes out and then he starts shooting them just like this. Switching between them, which is great for this game because one reloads while the other one fires. So a highly effective technique for Sweet Surrender. As opposed to, okay, there's another character who used two Uzis. Can't remember his real name. Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in True Lies. When he's being drugged by a torture guy, right after he kills the torture guy and a guard, he gets out of the room and starts shooting bad guys. He comes out with two Uzis. He's shooting them with his arms crossed like this, which is asinine. It doesn't work good at all. I've tried it. Watch, I'll show you. Well, maybe it's not that bad. But why cross the arms? Way more effective to just shoot straight. Another Uzi. Plus 3 bullets in the magazine. Interesting. Now, when the robots drop chips, there's really only two colors. The standard color, which is always going to be 20% damage, or an acid chip, or an EMP chip. When they drop this color, every single time, it is the healing chip. Health Siphon 1. Heal a small amount for each damage dealt. A very good chip, which I don't use as much anymore, but I will definitely take it. Now, you know what? In fact, it can replace the plus 3 bullets chip. Thinking about that melee attack stuns enemies chip, I was tempted to take that, but I'm not going to. Using stim gives 3 gears. That's the chip I was talking about at the beginning, why I was carrying the stim around. But I'm not going to go. Tell you what I will. I'm gonna take this laser pistol. On to the sewers. Down we go. Didn't find any long guns at all. Just pistols and Uzi. Matter of fact, this laser handgun's the best gun I've been offered so far. For long distance shooting, anyway. These rooms are really glitchy with this clear the room first. Everybody's dead, but these rooms frequently do this. And then they open up. Weird. Ooh, the revolver. Basically the whole reason I'm carrying this +5 bullets chip. 38 gears. I'll wait till I see a free one. At which point I even have the chip anymore. Actually, take that grenade. I really hate those guys. Well, definitely going to take speed here. that's weird. Hmm. Yeah, so this is Gorilla Strength 1. I don't remember if I've ever even seen any Gorilla Strength 2 or 3 chips, which would be like deal moderately more damage or deal significant. I wish they'd give you some numbers on some of these chips. They use vague terms like slightly and moderately. I feel like those are open to interpretation, and the slightly ones, they're really slightly. They're almost not worth bothering with. But like this increases all healing by 50%, right? There's other chips that say they'll say healing stims restore slightly more health. Well, how much is slightly? Oh yeah, I got the extra bullets. I would really like a grapple gun. Seems to me there should be a chest in there. What I was going to say earlier about work, as I was leaving work, or right before I left, somebody was smoking a cigarette, and the smell was just awful. I can still smell it. It's bothering me. Cigarettes are just vile, man. I can't believe I was a smoker for as long as I was. That's a shield kicking on. take that. I'm a Jedi. Busted. Oops. Threw my shotgun. I like this shotgun. Always reminds me of Kyle Reese from the Terminator. Even though it's not exactly the same, but it is similar. He has one that has a butt. He's got a police shotgun. It's super long. He saws the butt off. I don't know if he sawed the barrel off. I think he did, but they don't show him doing that. There's just a scene where he's hiding behind a dumpster, and he's got a hacksaw blade, but he doesn't have the actual saw. He's just using the blade wrapped in a cloth, and he's sawing the butt off the shotgun, and then he has a rope tied around it that he uses to loop over his shoulders so he can walk around normally in the trench coat. You can't tell he's got a shotgun under it. Sure will take that. Matter of fact, let's do that. Get rid of the healing amplifier. Move with some real speed. Let's give this one a whirl. No. You know what's interesting? In this room, you can take a gun, chuck it off the edge here, and it'll come back up to you. Look at that. Weird, huh? Yes, sir, I want it. In the novelization of the Terminator, ooh, something happened there. I lost some height. I'm short now. That's weird. I'm like 4.5 feet tall. Oh yeah, I don't have my extra bullets, so I'll get rid of that shotgun. You know what? No, let's keep the shotgun. Why not? Kyle Reese. In the novelization of the Terminator, he's in the tech noir. And he spots the Terminator. Terminator's got his laser pistol. He's putting it right on Sarah's head. That's when he knows it's the Terminator. Comes at him with his shotgun. That's how many times he shoots him. Blows him through, or no, he just knocks him down. Terminator gets back up. Oh, and in Terminator Salvation, Kyle Reese is using a shotgun just like this one. He points it right at that Australian dude's face. Anyway, so then Terminator starts unloading an Uzi on him. He runs around dodging. Terminator turns around to get Sarah with the Uzi. He's reloading. Gets right up to Sarah. Points. Boom! Kyle Reese gets him. The novelization describes that Kyle is aware of two models of Terminators that have real skin. The T-700 and the T-800, which is much more advanced. The 700 apparently did not have a very well armored chassis, so they would be somewhat easier. So when he shoots the Terminator with the glass window outside, I mean, he really shoots the hell out of him. At that moment, he's hoping that it's a 700, and he'll be able to kill it. But when it starts to get back up, and he says to Sarah, "Come with me if you want to live," in that moment, he knows it's an 800. I wish they'd have had more dialogue regarding that, or any dialogue. The only closest thing is Sarah is kind of like horrified. She's like, "How could that man just get up after you shot him like that?" He says, "Not a man. It's a Terminator, a machine, Terminator." Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. Then when he stops the car, he goes, "The 600 series had rubber skin. We could spot them easy. But these are new. They look human. Sweat, bad breath, everything." I just found that remark a little weird. He should have explained a little bit more. Look, there's the 600, there's a 700, and there's an 800. This is an 800. I'm gonna get killed. There's also some kind of like sketchiness to the Terminator lore regarding what is exactly meant by Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 as opposed to T800. One of the explanations given at one point was the Model 101 is specifically the Arnold Schwarzenegger skin, but there be other skins. Now that sounds like a good answer. Ooh, the auto shotgun. I'll definitely take them. Bye, Kyle Reese gun. Like, I would believe that that's the case, but Kyle Reese knows the thing is a Model 101, but he doesn't know that it looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says so. He says, I had no idea what it looked like. I had to wait till he tried to kill you before I could spot him. Furthermore, they fudge up the lore even more in Terminator 3. Mind you, Terminator 3 is not written by Jim Cameron. Jim Cameron had fuck all to do with Terminator 3. So they were free to screw it up however they wanted. Ooh, the grapple gun. I've been waiting all game for this. Kind of late arrival. I think I'm almost halfway through, but that's okay. We'll get rid of the laser pistol. We're going to definitely hang on to the Uzi in case we get one of them chips we like. I do want this. The Terminator in Terminator 3 refers to itself. Well, very stupidly for whoever wrote Terminator 3, John Connor starts talking to the Terminator as though it's Uncle Bob from Terminator 2. It's like, oh, you don't even remember me. And then the Terminator goes, that was a different T-101. Someone should have told those writers that, like, it's T800 Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. They're different things. You can't mix them. There's no such thing as T101. But they did it anyway. You know why? Didn't give a fuck. Furthermore, and this isn't the movie, but it's behind the scenes stuff, they had to explain why this Terminator looks so old now. Arnold is in his point. It's like, okay, he's youthful in the first two, He's in his 30s. Actually, you think he's 40 years old in Terminator 2. Now he's in his 50s. He's visibly aged. If they're just cranking all these guys off an assembly line, they should all look more or less the same, right? Why does this one look so old? I saw a behind the scenes thing where Stan Winston was talking about this one's a T850, not a T800. And it's got a little bit of a different skeleton to the T800. It's a little more armored. And it explains things like he's a little bit bigger now and he's older, looks older. So it's a T850. While in the movie, he calls himself a T101. I hate when people can't get their shit straight like this and when they're making a story. You know, oddly enough, the T1000 has no other designation. It's not like Cyberdyne Systems Model 999. It's just the T1000. That's it. That's all. There is no other name. And actually, every Terminator is like that. Only the T800 has this stupid dual naming thing. Uncle Bob identifies himself as a Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 after he picks John up off the dirt bike, puts him on his motorcycle, tires of the truck the T1000 is driving, and then they come to a stop later. John goes, "Now don't take this the wrong way." Ooh. I'm gonna have to give up my sword. Assault rifle. Now don't take this the wrong way, but you are a Terminator, right? Yes. Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. You know, I never did see another revolver after that one I turned down on the first or second floor. And I think at no point in the movies, the first two movies, Terminator and Terminator 2, do they use the term T800. The only related term ever used is when Kyle goes and he says the 600 series had rubber skin. He's talking about the T600 series. One of which is in the movie Salvation. And I talk about easily spotted. It's a pointless as an infiltrator. It doesn't work. You can spot it from a mile away. Do I want to give up my speed chip for this? This is a good one for stunning machines. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to give up the speed chip. We're still moving at an okay speed. I can tolerate this. I feel like there were better creative ways they could have explained the Terminator's age than, you know, the best one was Carl from Dark Fate. I didn't like Genesis's explanation because the way Genesis was done, he's a young Terminator at the beginning, and then he builds a time machine to send Sarah and Kyle to the future. Stupid. But he has to stay behind and wait for them for like 30 years. And now when they meet up again, he's an old man now. Now that's okay to explain his age, but the... Damn. The time machine to the future was a stupid idea. I don't think Terminators should come equipped with the knowledge of how to build a time machine. I'll point out that when Miles Dyson reveals that they have the chip from the first Terminator at the company he works for in a vault, he says it was smashed and it didn't work, but it gave them ideas and took them in new directions. I'm sure if it wasn't smashed and it did work, they would have hooked it up to something and figured out exactly what was on it or how it worked. So all the detailed files that the Terminator has on human anatomy and history of the future is all on that thing. I don't know if that's a good idea for Skynet to be sending Terminators back with that kind of information on their hard drive. About time I got this chip. Stun chip's gonna have to go. Sorry, stun chip. I need some serious gearage up in this bitch. I feel like Skynet should not ever send any anywhere without the possibility of it being captured alive or intact being considered. Shield time, baby. Guess what? This is our 1,000 gear room. See this repair drone? He's gonna heal these guys while I shoot him in the head. Just as soon as I kill this dude right here. He's useless for what I'm about to do. Hey, son of a bitch. Is he? Oh, look at them. They're all huddled together. Oops. Okay. Heal. It's better to just have one. The repair drone can only focus on one guy. That was an accident. I didn't mean to kill him. It's okay. We got a lot of gears out of that. We'll find another that does the same thing. You know what? I mean, I'm so tired right now. I really don't even care about getting 1,000 gears, other than doing like a shit ton of damage to the boss. I'm not concerned about the gears. I don't need to be high on the leaderboard. Look, sometimes the task of getting to 1,000 is just too damn onerous. I could have used this to do the same thing, but whatever. Where's my shotgun? Where'd that drone go? There he is. I mean, you could easily explain creative writing, right? All you got to do, look. This time travel stuff is kind of sketchy technology. Just say the Terminator arrived way too early. He arrived in the 60s. He's had to hang around for 40 years, waiting to strike at his target. Went into a storage locker and shut himself down for however long. That's why Carl has the best aging story. His is like feels natural. It doesn't have any stupid shit attached to it. Like he just lived. There's a great deleted scene from Dark Fate. They should have left that in the movie. A conversation between Sarah and Carl's wife. Somebody trying to come up. Who is it? Look who I see. Who down there? Wrench boy. Carl's wife tells, I know what he did to you because he told me. And she says, he's not like that anymore. He has changed. Sarah says, it can't change what it is. Carl's wife says, he, not it. He. And tells Sarah, ooh, see, this chip right here, this is why I wanted to have a high gear count. Mostly for this. This is a bad motherfucker right here. That's what they should have called this chip, BMF. Don't even need that one no more. Carl's wife says, he's very important to them. Sometimes I think it's bad if the most interesting parts of your movie are the things that you're telling us, and those are the things that I want to see, not the things that you're showing me. So, like, Carl has this backstory. His wife's name is Alicia, and they got a son. Matthias, I think is his name. Obviously, it's not Carl's biological son. I'm doing plenty of damage. I don't know if Terminators can reproduce sexually, but I don't think they can. They do have penises, though. would guess that they probably work. It's never been explored. Although I would still not have sex with one because they weigh 400 pounds. I imagine sex with a Terminator would be very dangerous. I mean, I suppose you could just be very careful. The whole thing sounds like a bad idea to me. Terminators seem to have problem regulating their strength. You never have a scene. Take that. Replace this. They never have a scene where a Terminator is doing like super sensitive, detailed, fine work. They're always just blowing shit up or ripping people up or beating people up, punching through their chest. Even when they have their off time, they like to like collect guns and read about guns. They don't do anything like intricate needlework or anything. I want to look at some things in this room. These three are firing the same gun. He's got a shotgun. Sorry, it's loud in there. The dude closest to the door. So you'll note that his bullets are differently colored than the other ones. He's got an EMP chip on it. If I kill him, he'll drop an EMP chip. This guy. That's the EMP chip he was carrying. You can tell by the color of his ammo. This guy dropped a healing chip. You can't tell that they have this. I can't use it. So the explanation they give in Dark Fate as to how, because Carl tells them that he's in a relationship with Alicia and they have a son, and Sarah is kind of like, she goes, she hasn't noticed that you weigh 400 pounds and you never sleep. Like, she doesn't know he's a Terminator. She actually does know he's a Terminator. Ooh, damn! I want this one too. We'll just hang on to it. But the movie, I guess, decided to go a different direction and wanted to play it like she does not know that he's a Terminator. Because there's a part where Sarah gets pissed. Rightly so, because Carl is the one who killed John. And she grabs a gun, she shoots Carl like twice in the chest. Sorry, I had my thing on my lap. And Alicia gets home and she needs help carrying in the groceries. But before that, Carl puts a flannel shirt over his t-shirt to hide his bullet holes. And right after Sarah shot him, he says, "This would be very difficult to explain to Alicia." Where if she knew he was a Terminator, it would be easy. He could just say, "Look, this is, remember I told you I killed that kid one time? This is his mom. She got mad and shot me." Haven't been using this. I hate this doorway, the hallway here. I don't know why, but none of those surfaces work with the grapple gun. That one does, but that just kind of irritates me. I think they should have went with the Alicia knows he's a Terminator angle. That's way more believable than trying to convince the audience that he's in a long-term relationship with a woman and raising a son, and they don't know he's a Terminator. He's never done anything that gave it away. He never sustained an injury, like the bullet holes. But the more interesting thing that they tell us about but don't show us, Carl says that Alicia was a co-worker of his that he saved from an abusive relationship. Immediately when he says that in the movie, I was like, that's what I want to see. Wow, look at that. This dude here was actually stronger than that one. That one I got in one shot. It took me 2 to hit him. Now, where would a Terminator get a job? That he would have a coworker like Alicia. I have an idea. Home Depot. They're both working at Home Depot, and Alicia's boyfriend or whoever, baby daddy, whoever Matthias's father is, comes into Home Depot to harass her and or beat the shit out of her. Carl observes this, puts a stop to it. The baby daddy tries to fight Carl, obviously doesn't stand a chance. Oop, hold on, this is a tougher room than most. try to get headshots. I don't know why. I don't even have the headshot chip. Don't make no difference if I get a headshot. Everybody who tries to fight a Terminator hand to hand gets their ass kicked. Matter of fact, I have an interesting comment on that. To me, interesting. Maybe not to anyone else. Sorry, I'm trying to use the grapple as a weapon just because that's fun. Because this is like super weak. It's not intended for use as a weapon, but since I'm doing 600% extra damage, it becomes a weapon, which I think is hilarious. And it's my favorite quote-unquote gun in the game. And this is where it becomes useful as an actual weapon. Only thing is, you can't rapid fire this. You have to wait like 1 or 2 seconds between each shot. It just won't. It won't go rapid. In fact, let's make that switch. The person in all of the Terminator films who does the best when it comes to unarmed combat with a Terminator is Sarah's roommate Ginger's boyfriend Matt in the first movie. You know what? We're going up against the big boss, and I don't need the speed chip, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to hope that gets me across the finish line in terms of gears. It might or might not. We'll see. Matt's asleep. He and Ginger just had sex. She gets up. It's the middle of the night. Or, well, it's late at night. Sarah's out eating pizza or whatever. Ginger goes off to make some food. She's one of those people. And the Terminator sneaks in through an unlocked sliding glass door and immediately tries to kill Matt, who's the first person he finds. Matt goes, "Whoa!" and dodges the blow, and then "Don't make me bust you up, man." It hits him in the head with a lamp. So I guess it's not unarmed combat. He had a lamp, but it was only for one shot. He does a tackle maneuver where he grabs the Terminator by the legs and it actually lifts him off the ground, which is impressive. Remember, these guys weigh 400 pounds. Matt's like a bodybuilder weightlifter, though, so it's believable that he could do that. That's as good as anyone's ever done. Usually it's pretty one-sided. The Terminator just wades through whoever he's fighting. Everybody at the bar in Terminator 2 didn't stand a chance. Didn't even phase him. So my chips did not get me across the defense line. That's okay. Last thing, so just think about it for a second. In the bar fight in Terminator 2, he does not even flinch from any of the attacks. Well, he flinches slightly when he's whacked in the back of the neck with a pool cue, but Cigar, some dude stabs him with a long dirk or dagger. He doesn't move. He doesn't flinch from the stab. It's nothing to him. Puts it through the guy's shoulder, hurls one guy into the kitchen, throws the other guy out the front window into the parking lot. But Matt actually got him off his feet. 264 kills, 71 minutes and 3 seconds. Puts me third place. Oh, there's Darwin Strider. Remember, he was missing. He beat me today. That's okay. And Dr. Mick, the cheater, has over 1,000 years. This is cheating. He'll be removed tomorrow. It's just going to be me and Arwen Strider. Anyway, that concludes this evening's broadcast. Thank you for tolerating my rambling about the Terminator. Thank you for joining me this evening.